If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
Okay, fine. So guys, today also we are going to have a quick recap of BTP, what we learned yesterday, right? And then we are going to complete the BTP introductions today, and okay, and we'll start with the business application studio. So that is the agenda for today, what we have it. Okay. So as part of a quick recap, right? So I have a couple of questions, guys. So please unmute yourselves, okay? And how many kind of environments we have? Let's start with the questions. Oh, we did a couple of times. Yeah.
Hi, Chandran. So basically, environments are Cloud Foundry, a web environment, schema, and Neo environment.
Okay. And what is the advantage of Cloud Foundry versus Neo? Anybody else apart from Gaurav?
There are
Cloud
some
Foundry is runtime source.
Okay. Yes, Larry.
Yes, Chintan. So Cloud Foundry is open source.
Yes, that is true. Anything else? There are a few more pointers. Anybody else? Oh, I think I'm either we are not having sessions properly or you are not getting it, guys. Both are not good.
It supports other languages also,
Like good.
like Java, Python. Other languages are also supported in Cloud Foundry.
Okay. How many global accounts can I have in my, BTP account?
Only one.
Only one global account.
Only one.
Good. Okay. And what else we had it yesterday? What is
Right,
quota? Yeah, go ahead.
we can have one global account and we can have multiple sub accounts and directories under that.
Yes, that is true.
Quota is something like a space that is allocated to a particular sub account. Once we define the particular sub account and then development space under that quota reflects and it defines how much space a particular sub account has.
Right. Okay. And what is SAP BTP?
SAP BTP is the platform provided by SAP to launch different type apps based of different programming languages like not only ABAP but different languages like Java, JavaScript, .NET, etc.
Okay. How many services it does it contain?
96.
96 services.
Okay. And how many pillars does it have? We have, I will give you examples. Okay. Database and data management. We have one pillar, right? Under which we have a couple of services under BTP. Likewise, we have analytics, right? Can anybody give a couple of services if they remember about under the database and data management? Any one service, guys? It's
SAP HANA Cloud.
simple. Yeah, database is already there. The word itself is there, right? Yeah, that's true. Anyone, if somebody remember? Okay, fine. There are a couple of more, right? Data quality services, SAP data intelligence, right? Data governance is also there. That's fine. How about the analytics? What kind of services do we have for analytics? Any one example? you want to do analytics, right? So
Services for RPA.
it will not come to analytics side of it if we talk about the analytics, right? It's again talks about the SAP Analytics Cloud, right? SAC, data quality services, master data governance, object store, all these services will be part of this part. Okay.
Okay.
Application development integrations. Guys, anybody new? Manjari? Let me call out the names now. Manjari, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Chintan.
Yeah. Hi. Good morning. Any one of the services for development side of it?
Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, you're audible. Okay. Maybe some network issue or something like that. Okay. Maybe I need to call out the name. Bhargava. Bhargav. Yeah, Naveen, you want to say something?
Yeah, actually, what I can recollect from the question is that you're asking the services for development purpose, right?
Yes, under BTP, that is true, Naveen.
Yeah, so for that we have ABAP runtime also as a microservice that we can use for development purpose from ABAP point of view.
Yes, we do have it. Aditya? Aditya? Any other
We have
service?
Business Application Studio service also is
Yes,
there.
that is true, right? Even today when I spoke about it. Okay. That should be fine. Any other services which you guys remember?
And
SAP
also
apps.
This service
service.
earlier.
Forms services led by Adobe and HTML5 services there.
HTML5, HTML5 not seen any services, but yeah, we do have Web ID, we have Business Application Studio, we have SAP built applications. Okay, all the services in which we do the development activities. Right? Yeah. Fine. Okay, so what next we have learned yesterday, guys, quickly. What is entitlements?
It's basically a right to for provision and consume any resources.
Okay. What is quota? Swapnil? Swapnil, what is quota?
Quota is quota is basically the quota is that is allocated to us against each service that we subscribe to.
Yes, that is true. And why do we need that? For each service, we have a different kind of limitation.
We have different kind of payment this subscription types. We either go with subscription or pay as you go, or the other one I don't remember. For based on those, the quotas are allocated to us.
Okay. What are the infrastructure service provider do we have?
AWS and Omni.
GCP, AWS, Azure.
Google.
Yes, that is true. Good, very good. How many regions we have? Okay, maybe you can name few regions. Okay, that's fine. I don't need numbers here.
For each service is different. Like we have Europe region, US region, Australia region, even in Asia Pacific, we have Japan. Even in for few services, we have GCP Mumbai as well.
Okay. Let's say, I have created my Fiori application and I'm deploying it. Okay. So where my Fiori applications is going to be deployed, it is under global account, sub account, space, or maybe somewhere else in BTP only. Huh?
Under space.
Yes, that is true. Good, very good. When do we use the trial account and when do we use the enterprise account?
Trial account for any POC for developers.
Okay.
Enterprise account is
Enterprise
basically
for our production deployment and production.
Okay.
yes.
Fine. Guys, do we have any other questions? Or maybe we are good to start. I'll take a pause, and if there is no question, we will start with the session then. Anything pending from yesterday? Okay, let's start then. So this is what we have covered yesterday, right? And okay, so this is the regions what we have, right? So we'll go inside the system now. Okay, and this is a system we have. This is a global account. This is sub account what we have it. Okay, we are going to create a new sub accounts. Okay, maybe I go a little faster. I'll cancel this. Okay, did you see sub account and directory, right? So why do we need directory?
It's like a folder. It will contain organized hierarchy structure.
Okay, and is it mandatory to have the directory?
No, we can directly have sub-accounts.
Okay, fine. I'm creating the, okay, let's say create a directory. Okay. I deleted one. Okay. Okay. So these are all the regions are available, by SAP itself. Okay, and along with the third-party infrastructure services. Guys, so what should be my thought process to select the region? Okay.
Network latency.
That is true. That is one of
Based
the
on availability. Availability.
availability in terms of
Which service you're going to deploy based upon
exactly.
the customer requirement.
Exactly. Okay. So before blindly create the sub accounts, we need to verify what are the services do we need for our project. Okay. We need to check it out all the services and we need to find the common region first. Okay. And once we have the, let's say, we have a common region, Australia, we have it, US East Coast, we have it, and Europe, Frankfurt, we have it. Okay. If let's try to finalize the regions first. Okay. And once we finalize the regions, okay, then only we can choose what regions is nearby and where we can target it. We cannot blindly select, right? See, I'm sitting in India, I would always prefer India. Okay, but if there are no services available, it is not going to helpful to us. Okay, you will not be able to subscribe the service itself. Okay, so just for here I'm just trying to create an India region. Okay.
Chintan, Brajesh here.
Yeah, Rajesh, please tell me.
Yeah, Chintan, here actually while creating a sub account, actually we are selecting region, right?
Yes, that is true.
Yeah. So let's say suppose today I'm selecting US and later on I found that in US region there are some services are not available and I need to move to Europe actually. So is it possible after creating a sub account we can change that region as well?
See, it's not possible. Okay. It's not possible. Okay, I'll create one more sub accounts. Okay, just because I'm testing for the training BS. Okay, I'm selecting the US West Coast. That should be sufficient. Okay. Okay, so basically we cannot change this region inside the sub account later point of time, because when you are trying to create it, it is going to be created in that specific service provider. It means GCP inside specific region inside the India. Okay, so that data center is being used over here. So we cannot, auto edit it. We can delete it. We can create a new one. Okay, we can transport our objects. Okay, maybe it's a DB objects or maybe CAPM services. We can migrate it. Okay, and we can try to leverage the new sub account. Okay, so this is what we have for the regions part of it and the sub accounts part of it, right? So point of presence, service provisioning, architecture tailored to meet the data, technical and governance requirements, right? Why do we need government requirements, guys? We know that. So based on the region you select, you will be able to create your database instance over there, right? I'm just giving examples for the database part of it, and whatever database in that region we have it, you will be able to store the data. Okay, so government requirement, right? Your data should be, this country data should be live within the country itself. Okay, why architecture is tailored to make the data technical, right? If your functionalities are not covering all the services, you may have to select proper region. So point of presence for service provisioning. Okay. Technically independent accounts, right? So if you create one account, two accounts, right? Just like we created one in US, one in India, Azure and GCP. Okay, both are completely independent. Yeah, both are completely independent, right? Even the geography is different, providers is different, and we can have this kind of sub accounts also, and everything go based on the requirement what we have. Okay. Technically independent accounts with number of sharing users, applications, authorizations, and can be managed using the directories and quotas. Quotas we already checked out, right? So if I need to use any of the services inside one, okay, this is a proper account. I don't want to use any of the services, otherwise it would be a charging to this particular account. Okay, so I'm just trying to showcase you that we can enable the services. Okay, let me go to one of the services. I'll go here. Okay, here so I'm inside the sub account. Okay, and when I see sub account, right? So okay, so business application studio is there. Okay, and the Cloud Foundry runtime environment is there. These two are there, environment and subscriptions of services. Okay, and when I go here, all these services are available here. Okay, which I can try to use it, and I've okay, and okay, let me just try to create. Okay, so when we are trying to create, here we have three options, right? And here we can put something and we can create a new instance. So if that service is available free of cost, right, this will be always there, right, as you are seeing in the system. And let me just try to open some different service. Maybe this is the one, not sure. That's a free. Yeah, it's a free only. Okay, what we can use? I think this does not have, yeah, see, this does not have any kind of free part of it. Okay, I understand that enabling this service might result in cost. depending on the plan selected, see the service catalog. Okay, so once you can create it, okay, but you need to make sure whatever you will be able to create, it will be directly charging to this BTP account by SAP to this company. Got it? So yes, this is how we can enable the services. Okay, and yeah, that's all. Right? So directories, quotas, and useful of separating the environments and logical work packages, right? So we discussed about this part also, that based on geography or verticals, right, the industries, if we need to segregate it, we can have the different sub accounts, we can have the different directories, and within the directories also we can have sub accounts. We cannot have directory inside the sub account. Okay, so that is also clear. Okay, provides. Okay, so why do we need a space here, and what is the use of it? Okay, the screen is in front of you itself. uh, any of the person would like to try it out?
Basically, space is basically the place where your actual app resides. Like it's like a memory. Like
What if I need to just
Can you say it's like a what?
sorry?
It's like a virtual machine where we can like provision our applications. We can run separately.
Okay. But why can't I deploy my application inside the sub account of it? Why I need space?
Space is the place where we can store or the information. Well, coming to if you choose one or more services, it requires some space. The latency will also take place in it. For that reason, we will select a space, I think.
Okay, and how many space should we have inside one sub account? Only one is a one can be there, or we can have many spaces also?
yeah, we can have multiple development space.
Okay, that is true. And why do we need multiple spaces? Why can't we use the same existing space?
Maybe because of logical grouping as per the business requirement. If we want to have a particular grouping of services pertaining to a particular region, so even though the region is same, within some account we can have multiple development space pertaining to a particular business requirement. You can group particular microservices into one single umbrella.
That is exactly right. Okay, that is a precise answer also. So super.
Yeah.
Okay, and fine. So whatever applications we are going to deploy in this space, right? It is going to be as a deployed as a service one, right? And it will be a containers. And when we are talking about Cloud Foundry, okay, can anybody would like to try out what is the uh, microservices concept? Uh, guys, you can see my screen, right? The PPT?
Yes.
Yeah. Fine. What is the microservices concept?
So, Chintan, this is the, this is the open platform for the entire SAP ecosystem, which is enabling the users to integrate the values for like the data and extend their SAP and the third-party solutions landscape.
That is true. Okay. I would like to add some more points here. Okay. See, microservices, so whatever, in most of people have, above background. Okay. Maybe who are having, SAP experience. Okay. So in that case, uh, okay. So in that case, the people who have above background, right? We always create the subroutines, right? And we create the different function models, or maybe we try to segregate the codes and try to reutilize the existing codes whenever we need it. So we are just trying to segregate it. And the reason for segregation is we are just trying to break our code in a logical grouping, okay, so that if it is going to be utilized, we can use the same concept. Okay, same way in cloud we have a concept of microservices. Okay, and in microservices, right, we can create the multiple CAPM services, we can deploy the Java services. Okay, if they can talk to each other, we can have our applications also deployed as a Fiori application is deployed as a service part of it. Okay, so we are doing a lot of different breakup of services. Okay, Fiori service, CAPM service, we can deploy it, and within the CAPM also, right? See, we create one project, okay, and we have 10 to 15 different kind of services which we are creating it. Okay, and that service have a different kind of roles. Okay, let me tell you that one service, okay, we are creating, which is connecting with the DocuSign. Okay, DocuSign is a digital signature framework what we have. Okay, third party system framework we have. So in that case, okay, if I create that service, I can utilize that service across the board. Okay, not only in my project. Okay, maybe other projects can also try to leverage the same kind of microservices. Okay, so it is also reusable purpose. Okay, we can have the multiple microservices, they can talk to each other, and even the third project, or maybe some other project would like to use it, they can also use it. Okay, so that is the microservices concept. What, yeah, this concept was not there in a neo part of it. Okay, you deploy entire your applications, it will be running. Okay, but starting from Cloud Foundry, that is possible. Okay, that microservices, we can break our services into multiple structure, we can deploy it separately. Okay, and we can take it forward. I'll give you one more example here. Okay, somebody was having experience on probably SAP CPI or PIPO. Okay, so we can create couple of services inside the BTP. Okay, we can deploy the services as a REST services okay, and we can deploy inside the Cloud Foundry runtime space. Okay, and whenever some data is coming, okay, from to CPI, okay, they can call, these are the services, okay, across the project. Okay, and they can leverage that service to complete that task. This is also possible, right? So it is not only that if you are going to create maybe some Fiori applications or maybe some kind of CAPM applications, right? Only during that time we need to have the space would be required, or microservices concept would be required. No, it is not like that. Okay, if we need to have connection with the multiple third parties, so anywhere we can break up our logical functionality into small pieces. Okay, and that pieces, the small business functionality, it can be deployed as a service. Okay, and each CAPM service within the same space, they can talk to each other, we can call it out, and we can complete our actions. Okay, fine. So this is what we already discussed about it. So we have SAP BTP, okay, as a multi-cloud platform deployed on a cloud providers. We have SAP Azure, AWS, GCP. Okay, we have seen it. SAP is its own couple of services are SAP owned, so they are using their own data centers. Alibaba Cloud was probably announced on 2018-19, but in most of the cases what we have seen recently live, right? Maybe we are not seeing the Alibaba Cloud, okay, as part of the cloud providers. Okay, it may be using a couple of services, but majority of them are not there, right? Fine. So this also we discussed, right, that infrastructure as a service, data considerations, just two factors to be addressed, requirement of government, business, and technical are satisfied. Okay. Okay, this is all we already seen it, right? Okay, let me show you one more thing. Okay. This is a very beautiful tool we have. SAP has developed. So here it's all already says 24 regions are there. Okay, and when I click on the globe, it will take some time. Okay, can you see, right? I can see how many data centers we have. Here we have a lot of, right? So I can check it out like this one, and okay. Okay, so here we have it, Alibaba Cloud. Okay, let's just try to see how many services we have for the Alibaba Cloud. Okay, we have only one services. Okay, and we have one region. Okay. Earlier that was not the case, but it's okay. Fine. And if I go to this particular applications, I want to understand, right, that how many. Okay, here also we have a globe. Okay, so all these regions are already there. Okay, so this is how we can see it also, and here we also have the drop down also. Okay, it will let us know. Okay, so this will help us to take it forward. Okay, so this we already seen it. Okay, on-premise to public cloud connectivity. Guys, how can I connect my on-premise systems with BTP?
Cloud connector.
We have some connectors, GT connectors, maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah, the cloud connectors connect on system.
And what does cloud connector do? What does the cloud connector do, guys?
It connects the on-premise system with our BTP platform through RFC connections, and from cloud connected to on-premise, we have RFC through which we can connect our on-premise applications systems to the cloud connector, and from cloud connector to BTP, we have destinations for mapping purpose.
Yes, so definitely, no, cloud connector will help us to create the encrypted secret tunnel between your gateway systems, okay, and your BTP account. Okay, so whatever the data communication is happening, okay, it will be only with that tunnel it is with happening. Okay, so it's a secure, it's a encrypted also, and once you set up the cloud connector and once your destination is working fine, it means your BTP can consume all your Fiori applications also. It can fetch the data of Fiori applications, it can fetch the data services, everything is available inside your gateway systems. It will be able to fetch the data that is possible. Okay, so this is about cloud connector. Cloud connector you already studied as part of your Fiori, so I'm not going detail of it. What does SAP do, right? And okay, so we already gone through with this part, right? So BTP will help us, out of the box services, out of the box pre-built content for a couple of services within the BTP, right? And when you get the requirement, how quickly you can turn around requirement into the architecture diagram, the solutioning part of it, and how when the solutioning is done, how quickly you can turn from solutioning design to your completion of build, right? That is the way, that is where BTP will help us to comes to picture, and not only just to the till the build part of it, it will also help us to deploy our code, whatever we have done it from theory CAPM, right? And even for above environment, right? We can use the CI/CD pipelines, right? And our codes can be pushed from dev sub accounts to quality sub accounts and via further also. Okay, so the pipelines can also be created. Okay, so let's start with the bottom of it. Okay, let's start from the bottom of it. We have an infrastructure, right? Hyperscalers, we have it. We have SAP data centers, we have GCP, Azure, uh, AWS, and Alibaba as well, right? So this is the infrastructure on which the BTP is going to use or deploy the services, or the sub accounts will be getting created, right? So in one BTP account you can have different sub accounts which is lying in a different regions, and it can also be using the different hyperscalers also, right? Okay, and when we talk about the database and data management, analytics, application development, integrations, and intelligent technologies, all these are nothing but the different kinds of services, total 96 services. Okay, and this is what we have given by SAP itself. Just subscribe, deploy, give access to the users, okay, and start using those services for the building the solutioning part of it. Okay, now coming back to the next part, right? So applications, we have intelligent suite and industry cloud solutions. So SAP is also moving further apart from platform. What else SAP can offer to its customer partners? Okay, out of the box, end to end applications also, because SAP knows its it knows its market also, its requirement also, and its modules also very well than us. They know them because they themselves created it. Okay, when we SAP is around FI, MMSD, right? They have a lot of other modules. Okay, they have roughly they have 150 plus modules what they have it. Okay, and so they know their business process, okay, what they have designed it, okay, they know very well. And even from they are talking to, they have a lot of customers, right? And it's big customers, so when they're talking, okay, the customers themselves are coming with a couple of similar kind of requirement. So based on industries, okay, they are also trying to create some kind of solutions, that direct applications they can offer to the customer. Okay, and they can get charged based on the usage, that is also there. Okay, so they are creating the applications, okay, and they're deploying onto the landscape, and they are just asking the users to try it out. And if customer would like to be in a productive purpose, they can buy it and they can take it forward. So they're also creating the applications also. Okay, and when we say industry intelligence suite, it's combined with the intelligent services and whatever the solutions what they have been offered. Okay, and on so when we create the applications, okay, when we create the, we have the services. Okay, so let's say we created service. Okay, then now we know it is waiting for somebody to take actions. Okay, so within that business process, okay, maybe some person's input would be required, or maybe some kind of analysis would be required, right? So what kind of intelligence we can put by using some service? Okay, or what is the way to achieve the turnaround time would be quicker, okay, to complete the overall process. Okay, so SAP is also thinking up to that level. Okay, so if there is any process is there, if it is taking 10 hours, right, what are the breakup of this one, why it is taking so long time? Okay, can we create some solution, and can we just try to maybe some kind of notification we can share, right? Or maybe some kind of messages we can share, okay, so that the person can respond quickly. And in terms of if I'm expecting some kind of response from the user, they need to know certain details. In order to they need to know some details. If they're sending an email, why can't we provide all the required details to the email to that person, so that that person can directly take the actions or the inputs, okay, or directly from the email body of it. That is also possible, right? So yeah, so on top of it we have a business process, okay, and this is about hyperscalers, this is about service layers of it, this is about we have the requirements also, because based on requirements we are going to select the services. SAP is also starting with the industry cloud services applications they are building it, okay, and along with that, okay, they're also taking a one step ahead to to think about how to speed up the entire, how to complete the entire business process. Okay, what we have it. Okay, now it's about the same thing, right? So the pillar consists of everything: you store, access, process, integrate, and interpret. Okay, so store means HANA database cloud. Okay, not only the database, but if I want to store the documents, I can use the object store, right? Access, process, right? For processing, we have different services, integrations, okay, and interpret. I think it is going to be a bit repetitive now. Okay, so data storage, data processing, data integrations, orchestrations. Okay, orchestration we already discussed yesterday. Anybody would like to try it out? Okay, so we have the data intelligence service, which can help us to orchestrate the data. And if the data has a, we have a huge chunk of data lakes, we have it. And instead of replicating the data, we can try to connect all the data lakes separately. We can transform, we can process, okay, even though data size is high, and we can, get the output of it. Okay. And when we analytics, so we already have the SAP Analytics Cloud as part of BTP, and we can create the views, and we can SAP Analytics Clouds can use the views and cubes also inside SAP and get the data from the system, and it can have the good dashboard part of it. Okay. Okay. So we have different types of services. Guys, are we going in a good speed, or do you have any queries? I'm unable to see your screen. Hold on.
No, it's fine. Fine for me.
Yeah, because I already covered it once. Don't want to repeat again and again. Okay, so I'm just trying to skip it now. Right. Integrations we have, okay, application development integrations, extensibility, business process optimizations, business services, and user experience. Okay, so this is what we have. And as part of intelligent technologies, we have artificial intelligence, machine learning, IRPA, blockchain. Okay, blockchain, it was there, now it is not there, but diagram has not been updated. Okay, so IoT also, and SAP AI business services, SAP IRPA. Okay, so if we go to here, right, we will talk 1 or 2 minutes for each of it, and just take it up. Okay, so okay, so this will help us, right? If we have a long text, and if we need to get the specific tokens out of it, entities out of it, like countries, or maybe people name, right, and some kind of times, right, so that we can extract it. Okay, and if you go inside it one, it will have more details. Okay, Okay, just for one of the service we can showcase. Let me just try to open it one more time. So this supports how many language? 4 language does it supports? Okay, okay, wrong document, my bad. Okay, I'm just trying to see if I can have the list of pre-trained models what we have it. This is a tutorial what we have. I was expecting here, but that should be okay. The reference should contain that. No, it is coming to the same one. Okay, so pre-trained model information probably it is not directly I can see it. Data format. Fine. Okay, but we do have pre-trained content also, and if you want to customize also, that is also possible. Okay, so it will help us to take it forward. Conversational AI is we can create the chatbots, okay, inside the CAI. That service is retiring soon, okay, and the data attributes what we have to, so if we have large set of data, right, so based on data it can also classify the data, classification can be done, and it can also predict the data, okay, so based on the inputs, okay, and document informations extraction is there, right, so we have details, okay, we can go to any one of them, okay, and we can check out all the resources are available here, okay, and the learning and tutorials materials are already available here. Fine. Okay, and SAP IRPA. So in a nutshell, based on requirement, how how we can combine all these services. Okay, when I say combine means how we can leverage these services in order to achieve the business functionality. That is how we can check this out. Right? Yeah, the same thing. It provides a strong product portfolio, central platform for accelerating development and migration, because all the services are available itself here. And even for customers, okay, they do not have to procure the different services from different vendors. You have SAP product portfolio, on-premise system, SAP BTP. You can leverage these services. You can talk to any of the SAP multiple on-premise cloud solutioning and even non-SAP systems also. And when I say cloud solutioning, I mean SAP Ariba, SuccessFactors. We have C4C, right? So all is the cloud solutions what we have. We can talk. It can connect, and we can do complete our business functionality. Okay, and even we can build the extensions also. Okay, so we can get the data from let's say SuccessFactors runs on a standard OData, right? So we can get the data on top of it. We can create some kind of UI, okay, applications. We can create whatever applications we have created over here. We can deploy it to the SuccessFactors also. That is also possible. And okay, so we can do the extensions also, okay, of this SuccessFactors Ariba as well. Ariba I have not tried it, but SuccessFactors I have tried it. So this is all about what we have, SAP BTP. So achieve integrated business process, data to value, okay, and extensibility. Okay, so whatever as part of, okay, you already gone through it, but I also show one more time just for a theory library, just for a moment. Okay, so we have all these libraries, okay, and it means S4 HANA contains systems, okay, contains all these theory applications by default, okay, and when you go to cloud also it contains, okay. So if you want to extend this applications, okay, you can also have it in S4 HANA also. You can also deploy it inside the BTP also. And if you would like to try out, okay, a couple of Fiori applications, okay, you want to deploy to the BTP, and you want to extend that Fiori applications, the standard Fiori applications, to the maybe success factor or something, right? That is also possible with the permutation that the extension points are available. Otherwise, probably we need to create with something new. Okay, so yeah, we can have the applications from the on-premise, we can deploy to BTP, and we can also get some couple of more fields if required. Okay, and then from the SuccessFactors cloud solutions or maybe some other systems also. So that kind of uh, possibilities, extensions, and leverage, we can have it. Okay, so SuccessFactors is a cloud-based HRMS, right? Provides end-to-end employee management solutions. This is just a one-liner. Okay, descriptions of it. Okay, so connected business process is what we have it. Right, cloud-based platform, end-to-end integration. That's what we see. Faster deployment, right? Fine. So maybe I'll open a floor for any kind of question and answers. And if you do not have it, I have a couple of questions for you guys. Any questions do we have?
Actually, I have one question. Actually,
Yeah, Anurag.
whatever you are telling, whether we deploy anywhere in our company, because we don't have any system access, we don't have any browser. Whatever you are saying is totally theory, which is I forgot after some time because we did not do the practical things. So when we start the practical things, we can understand, and some concern comes into picture to what is a query and how to resolve the things.
Fine, Anurag. So, there are two answers of it. Okay, I completely agree that we need to have more hands-on, but this is just a second day, right? And even as part of our agenda, we are just starting with the theoretical part, and we are having the inside the BTP, what is how BTP looks like. Okay, so BTP
But
we do.
actually, what you are saying, I have a one question only because we don't have a browser itself. We don't have a user. How can we go the things? What are the services are available? You show me over there, but I am not aware from where we get the services and all these things. Whether one time we can do it, then we can little bit listening or we create our notes how to do the things because this is not a one time activity in a project.
Just a minute.
Practical is a different thing. I'm talking about whatever you are saying is totally theory. Anywhere we have a browser or something like that, Eclipse or something in our system where we can start the things, just try one or two times. Creation of any application comes under hands-on. I agree with that.
See, Anurag, yeah, okay. We have a BTP trial account by which you can log in. Okay, I think most of you should have the login of BTP trial account because you already been part of undergone the training for the SAP Fiori. Okay,
No, we
coming
don't
back
have.
to
No, we don't have. The same thing I'm telling.
oh
We don't have.
oh
Because
okay.
yesterday in the chat they said we will share you the user ID and password, but we don't have till time.
I'm a bit surprised. Definitely, I'll share it with you. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Oh,
Okay.
thanks a lot.
So yeah, so BTP account, I'll share it with you. I'll also share you the blogs, how to log into BTP. You can create the account and how you can try it out. Okay. So whatever I'm doing here, not here, right? So everything you'll be able to see it out. This is the licensed accounts. Okay. When you try out with your trial account, the number of services will be limited. Okay. That is the only difference you will be able to see, but you will be able to create the sub accounts, you will be able to create the space, and you will be able to create the business application studio service enablement also, and you will be able to create the applications also. Anurag. Okay. And the BS, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Same thing. We want the same thing, but we require the same thing. My question is the same.
Yeah, definitely. So okay, fine. Maybe during the break I'll find the blog and I will share it with you. And after the blogs, okay, I would ask you, okay, that start with the BTP trial account for all of you. And once all of you are done, okay, you will raise your hand, okay, and then probably start with the BS and the further thing. So we'll try it out and you will also try it out. Okay, so that will give you confidence also. So we have this part in, okay, will include the trial account also. We didn't think about that. We thought that you already have undergone the training, so probably we'll be having it, but fine, we can have it. That's fine. Okay, any other questions, guys? Okay, so I have few questions for you. Okay, and whoever knows the answers, please raise your hand. Okay. Okay, I think I'll type the questions. Okay, I can hear showcase here. What is the answer for first part?
It should be Windows Server.
Guys, anybody else? Yeah, Jairam?
Windows Server.
Yeah, that is true. Anybody has any doubt? Okay. What is the answer for second part?
A.
Okay. Fine. Only one or two hands or maybe three hands we are saying. Guys. Okay. What is the answer for third part? Gaurav?
That will be environment for developing any web-based application.
Okay. Only 2 to 3 people. Huh? Which of the following is programming language used in SAP BTP?
Option D, all
of these.
It's me, all the above.
All of the above.
All of this.
What is Cloud Foundry in SAP BTP? Yeah, Manjuri?
Yeah, it is C, the database management for the SAP application. Or
It will be D, an environment for developing and running applications. Cloud Foundry.
Okay, this is the first time we are having some conflict. Like, how many says B? And how many says C?
Even I feel B.
B, yeah? Yes. Okay. So Cloud Foundry has nothing to do with the database management, right? It will help us to run the application and the deploying part of it, development and deploying part of it.
okay.
Sorry.
Yes, Aditya.
The screen is not visible, Chintan, now.
Oh, really?
No, it's visible for me.
No, it's visible for me.
It's visible. Okay. Okay.
For me also visible.
Yeah. What is the answer for 6?
It's a primary database now.
Yeah.
SAP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the answer for 7? What is the following services offered by SAP BTP?
All the above, the last one.
All of them.
All the above.
Okay. What is the purpose of SAP Cloud Platform cockpit?
Cockpit.
Will be first to manage clock.
It's B.
Cloud platform cockpit will be
B. Deploy
it will be
application.
to manage and monitor SAP.
Manage and monitor
Should
SAP system.
be.
A.
I think we can monitor the service. I think A and B both, because we will be able to develop also and monitor also.
That is true. Okay. See, we do have a couple of services, okay, which will help us to monitor the services, okay, of the SAP BTP. Okay. So if you have deployed any kind of applications, or if you deploy any kind of jobs, right? So we can check it out the logs, we can get the data and we can pass it on. Okay. Develop applications, we are already aware of it, right? So it's A and B both. Okay. Yeah. What is the 9th part? Which of the following is not a tool for application development in SAP BTP? This also we covered it.
It's a D.
I think D. Lumira.
I think D.
Yeah. Okay. Yesterday I also said, right, when the SAP BTP started way back in 2010 with the name of HANA Cloud Platform. At that time, we had the HANA Studio in which we used to create the Fiori applications. Okay, it's way back, but yeah. So HANA Studio, it's still being used, to do the HANA development. That is also there. And only these SAP Lumira is not part of SAP BTP portfolio, the service portfolio. Okay. And which of the following is the benefit of using SAP BTP?
It's D, all.
All of the above. All of the.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all. Any other questions? Otherwise, we are going to move to the second part of it, which is the Business Application Studio. Manji, do any question?
No, Chintan. Good as of now. Yeah, that was raised to the answers only. I think still it is. Let
Okay.
me.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Fine. Fine. Okay. So maybe
One question from my end. So
yeah, please.
yeah. So in my current project, we have a BTP cockpit, and the requirement that we need to route our Fiori applications on a cloud foundry on a BTP platform. So are we going to cover something similar to it, at least the configuration or how to enable it in this session?
Okay. In this sessions, if you have the on-premise Fiori applications, okay, and the enable part of it, no, we are not going to cover, because the standard Fiori applications is not part of SAP BTP. Okay, so during the normal Fiori sessions we can cover it, but if you want like to have some kind of blogs to be referred, we can definitely showcase you.
Yeah, maybe that will help. I mean, that's on the agenda 2 for me. I would definitely like to know more about BTP, which will be definitely covered in this session. But that will be handy. If you have any blog, please share and then I'll go through it.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe I'll write it down. Okay.
Yeah.
So, standard applications enablement, right?
Standard and custom both. Yeah, standard and custom application both. I'm just
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other things? Any other questions? Fine. Okay, so probably we are taking the break here. Okay, and probably post to break, we'll start with the SAP Business Application Studio. And meanwhile, I'll also try to find out the link, okay, for the trial account, BTP trial account, and so that we can check it out together, the team. Is that fine? Yeah. So guys, now we are starting inside the SAP BTP systems. Okay, we are starting with the BTP components. Okay, one more time quickly, and then we are starting with the Business Application Studio. We are going to create the roles and everything from scratch. Okay, so this is we are just trying to start with that. Gaurav, any questions do you have? Gaurav, do you have any questions?
From where we get Business Studio? From where we get this thing?
No, once Anurag, once you log into SAP BTP, right? Then you will be able to get the service. Okay, and we are trying to show end-to-end of it.
Okay.
Okay. So just like you are logging with a fresh account. Okay, and then we are going to start with the how we can subscribe the service, how we can provide the roles, and how we can enable the services. Okay, and how we can try to leverage it also. This is what we are going to do now itself.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I will. Can you please confirm if my screen is visible to you?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So we are just starting with the second module, that is a introduction to the Business Application Studio. Okay. Now everyone should have been onto this page, but before we go on to this, we would be starting or navigating from the SAP BTP cockpit. Once you are a registered user onto this business application, this SAP BTP, if you have not registered yourself, or in case the registration process is not complete, you can always go to people.sap.com. Okay. I'm just telling you, this is just an overview where, in case if you're having difficulties, what you can do is you can just create an account for yourself onto the first time. Okay. Now, once your account has been created, it will ask you to validate your account. Okay. Once you are validated your account, you can just log into the BTP cockpit. Okay. Just search for a SAP BTP cockpit. Okay, and it will allow you to go on to this URL. Once you log in onto this URL, you will be redirected to your trial or your enterprise account, depending on to the subscription that you have. Okay, now once you are onto that point, what you have is a BTP cockpit. Okay, let me introduce you to the components that you have into the BTP cockpit itself. This is referring to the point called as a global account. Okay, we have directories and sub accounts. Here you will be able to navigate to the sub accounts. The number of sub accounts can be created from this point. Okay, you have the resources provider over here. Just a second. Okay, now once you are onto this, there are two levels. Now right now we are onto the global account level. Now onto your global account level, onto the left side, what you have is a account explorer. It will list out all the accounts that you have. First is your global account, then you will have the sub accounts onto the same level. Then you would be having the resource provider. Okay, now the resource providers are a kind of a component that will help you with the resources that should be enabled depending on to the contract that you have. The boosters refers to the point that is where we have for let's consider it as an add-on. Okay, now when you have this booster, they are referring to the services. Okay, now into your services, what is the suite that you are working on, whether it is an extension suite, whether it is a digital experience. Okay, when I refer to the digital experience, the component of your Fury comes under the digital experience. Digital automation process, your IRPA, your build, all comes under this tool. Okay, let's say this one. Okay, so these are the smart tools. Okay, or you can say these are the automation tools. When I say the digital experience, it will start with a work zone or some other things. The integration suite. Okay, whether you have this onboarding, some processes are already available which you can integrate into your systems. Earlier we have talked about the entitlements. Okay, now what does the entitlement refers to? Your entitlement refers to the allotment of the services that you are availed for the usage. It could be at the entity assignments. Okay, now when I say the entity assignments, because I have 3 different sub accounts, I can also check it at the account level. Okay, depending on to my regions which I have used, it will allow me for the services which I can see. Okay, let's say this one. Okay, now what are the entitlements I have, and what is the service name, what is the technical name, and what is the plan that you have been using, whether it is a free plan, whether it is a standard, light, default. These are the types of plan. You have a assignment quota. Now this assignment quota is referring to the usage that you can have. Okay, so as of now it is all by default because we are using a single account. Now if I want to go it for all the accounts, it will be grouped at different levels. Okay, this is the first one. Now if some services are available for me and I want to share it with another one, that time I can even configure this entitlements. You see there is an option for me to add on, there is an option for me to subscribe. It is a usage of a resource onto a particular level. Okay, I can share this also. Okay, CICD, but where it is available, it is available onto my professor's RSA account. But if I want to give it on to some another account, whether I want to share it with a trial account, I can change the allotment from here also. Okay, now I'm on to this service assignments. I'll just cancel off this part. Okay, the service overview, the number of services that you have used or you have enabled or subscribed to will be available over here. Okay, now on to the security point. Who is it available for? We say that it is available for the user. Okay, a global user is a global account, right? Now there are 2 identity providers over here. Now onto this 2 identity providers, what I have is I have the provision whether I want to give this role to someone else. Here we have a role collection. If it is available, I can use it, or if it is not available, what I can do is I can assign the roles. Okay, whether it is a global account or whether it is a Cloud Foundry account, that also I can manage it from here. The role collections also I can take care of it from here. Now on to the last session. The session before this, we had a question where we said that SAP BTP cockpit is able to manage and monitor. Okay, now when I say the management, this is coming from a user's point, but when I say I can monitor also, where it comes from? It comes from your usage analytics. Okay, now for example, let's say I have subscribed to a service and that service is not being used, but I am working on pay as you go. So after that pay as you go, it is still charging me, but if the service is not used, what you can do is you can see how much that service is costing you. or what you can have is you can have the overall usage of onto this estimate usage. Now, as of now, my service plan which is available is, it is a business application studio and I'm going with a free usage. It is available onto this region and it is costing me in euros. Okay, because I am onto some European region. Where I'll be able to find that region, I'll be able to find the usage of my region onto the sub account, or I can even find it onto the global account level. If I want to opt for some service usage, I can even see this. Okay, so this is where the BTP cockpit is useful for us, where it helps to manage the services via the security check and the monitoring of the services via usage analytics. Till here, is it clear for you all? Is
Could
there
you
any
please
question?
repeat entitlements, entity assignments, and service assignments?
Come again. Who is it? Can you just be a louder, please?
Could you please repeat entity assignments and service assignments?
Okay. See here, when I say the entity assignments, for me, what are the entities I have? For me, the entities are being considered as a sub accounts. Okay, what are these? These are the sub accounts under this global account, right? Are these the accounts or not?
Yes.
Right now, if I want to monitor the usage, I can only select this one, or either I can go with this one, select. Okay, now this is on to this entity level, but I want to understand inside of this. So what I will do is, for example, there is a resource which I want to share it with another sub account, but it has already been utilized over here. Let's see here. Now here I can have a quota which is limited. Now how do I monitor this? What I can do is I can go to the entitlements and then again configure those. Okay, here you can see more about the entitlements. Just because I have a limitation, I will not be able to change onto it. The entitlements are available. Okay, how can I say this? Let me put it other way. Let's say for a prepaid account, the mobile which I am using, the service provider has given me a limitation of 1 GB per day usage. Okay, now 1 GB is your quota. Okay, now what I am entitled to? I am entitled to 1 GB usage per day. Now out of that, if I am using 450 GB, now I'm still entitled with the remaining one, right? I can use it or I cannot use it. It depends on to me, but I am still entitled with 1 GB per usage. Are you getting this point of the entitlement now?
Yes. So the basic difference of these two assignments is I'm not clear about.
Okay, so the entity assignments refers to the entitlements that you have it onto the sub account level. But when you go onto the sub account level, it is not necessary that all the services are available for you for that particular entity, for that particular sub account. Because when you when you create that sub account, it is particularly redirecting to a particular data center or a particular region which could have a limitations. If you have the limitations onto that, what you can do is you can again create one sub account and use that services onto another sub account, and that sub account could you use the entity entitlements.
Okay.
Okay.
And if I have one service and it can be shared between two sub accounts, so what is the concept of that shared units? It was somewhere.
You have this onto the entitlements, I think.
So we can do sharing until the quota is reached, right?
Yes. Even you can add the quotas.
So
Okay.
maybe if you have taken
Basically it is buying that space.
Yeah, so if you have taken 4 instances of one service, right, in that case you can allocate 2 instances to one sub account, or maybe you can instance, 1 instance to 4 sub accounts. So we can segregate the quota like that.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
And if needed, we can purchase the additional quota. I mean, we can extend the quota additionally with the price.
Yes, that is possible. Sure.
Okay, now we were on to this global account level. Now I'm moving on to the sub account level, the views. Okay, now the other thing that you have to be sure about is that whenever you move on to the BTP cockpit, different URLs or the different components, it will switch on to the views. Right now what you are seeing onto your left panel is onto your global account level. Now if I want to move on to the sub account level, there is a change that you will be able to see. Okay, now earlier I was having the entitlement, security, landscape, service providers, boosters. Right now what I have is I have the services, I have the cloud foundry, connectivity, security, entitlements. Now this entitlements is referring to this entity. Okay, this is nothing but my sub account as an entity in my entitlements. Okay, now the services section, what we have is a service marketplace. Now in my trial account, what are the services that I can use? Okay, now for the first time when you have created an account, it is available by default for you. But sometimes what happens is as soon as you launch, okay, as soon as you launch your trial account, you might not be able to see. Sometimes it will give you an authorization error. Okay, even if your account is set up, if you try to open this, okay, for me it has been already set. Okay, so I'll be able to see this account. But in case if you are not able to see, or if you launch your application from here and you are seeing the error, that authorization, okay, it will say you are not authorized, access denied. If that kind of error occurs to you, what you can do is you can go to your security, you can go to your user. Okay, now for the user, which is the user that exists for me, this is my user and it is associated with a default identity provider. Navigate over here. Okay, now once you navigate over here, you will have a role collection. Now once you go on to the role collection, what you can do is assign the role collection. As of now I was working as an admin for this and I have everything in place, so I am able to see this. But in case, okay, in case if you are not able to see, what you have is, let's say, let me delete this. Okay, right now I don't have the access to this business application studio. So what I can do, 1 minute, let me refresh this one. Now that role is not assigned for me, but if I try to assign that role, you'll be able to see this business application studio. Now if this role has not been assigned to me, I will not be able to see the business application studio. Let me switch to this over here. It is already there. Let me assign that role again. This is a developer role. Even though once I go inside this, I will not be able to create. So if I assign this role to me, assign the role collection, the role collection has been successfully assigned. Now once I try to open this, I'll be able to open this. Now if I want to group the roles, Okay, I can assign the roles over here. Basically, roles is a kind of a thing which will allow you to access some of the components that you have. Okay, role collection, roles, and then you have the trust configuration. Okay, whether you want to connect to any third party or another things. Now the entitlements, if you look over here, here I have this configurations available. Okay, now what is the sub account assignment? It says that I have 1 units, the remaining global quota is 0. What it is saying, my SAP service, which is a ABAP environment, has utilized the complete unit which is available at the global level. For my global unit, it's just giving me 1, and it has been using this 1 unit. Now if I want to enable this, or if I want to subscribe to this ABAP environment in my another sub account, I will not be able to do so because this quota is not available for me. Okay, so here you can even configure this entitlements at the service plan. If you are available, or you are entitled, or if you have the quota available, you can do it from here. Okay, depending on to the solution that you are looking for, whether it is a AI application development, analytics integration, like this. Okay, till here, is it clear for you? Should we move on to the next slide? So that was the introduction which we had about the SAP BTP cockpit. Okay, now let's switch on to our main agenda for today, is the business application studio. Okay, now we have already launched this business application studio at a service and at the sub account level. Okay, your subscriptions or your services will be launched from your sub account level. Now what does the business application studio provides you? Okay, now if you are working onto your trial account, you would have a limitation of 2 accounts. But whenever, let's say I am creating a dev space, always remember that when I am referring to a dev space, I am referring to the development environment. And when I am referring to the Cloud Foundry space, that time I am referring to the runtime. These two spaces are independent of each other. Cloud Foundry space is a runtime environment. The dev space environment is for your development. Okay, now let me show you how to create a dev space. Now whenever you have a business application studio, it's a multi environment development tool. Okay, now when I say a multi environment development tool, because there are a lot of extensions available here. Okay, now if I want to go with a Fiori application, I can use this. Now if I am choosing this Fiori environment, okay, this is nothing but a development environment. Okay, this development environment is referring to the development of Fiori applications, or it would be referring to the UI5 applications you can create. There are some of the predefined extensions. These predefined extensions are available by default. But if you would like to have some additions to this existing ones, you can select it from here. Okay, there is an option. Either you can go with the one or you can go with the many. It depends on to you. Okay, so this is the development environment. Now when I go with this creation, I have to provide a dev space name. Now there are some standard naming things that you have. You can have it into your capital, you can have it into your small, you can include some numbers. It is a combination of alphanumeric character, but you cannot have the spaces in between. Okay, it will give you the information that you cannot have the spaces in between. So don't include the spaces, just include your name. Now, once that is done, I wanted to create this Fiori one. As soon as you create the dev space, it will create a dev space for you. Okay. Now, because we are onto the trial environment, it will say you are allowed a total of 2 dev spaces, only one running at a time. Okay. Now, when I say only one running at a time, where will I be able to find the status of my dev space that is running? It would be over here. Okay. Now, this will be the name of your dev space. This will say that this type of applications I can develop in this dev space. Okay. And this is the status. Now, there are 3 status that you would always have. One is a starting, one is a stopped. Okay. Now, when you see this starting, it is basically initializing your environment or your development space to be used. Okay. Now, when it is into the running state, what will happen is this will be becoming a hyperlink. Okay. Now, once it is available, once it is into your running mode, you will be able to launch this. Okay. Now, it will have some other components like created on ID, disk usage. For every space that you have, you will have a 4 GB of allotted space. You can even stop this, you can download this, you can delete this. You cannot change the name of your dev space, but it will allow you to add the extensions which we have seen earlier, but provided it is into the stopped state. Okay. If you see this, I can add the extensions onto my predefined dev space. Okay. If I launch it from here, what will happen is it will take me to the tool. Okay. Now, what we have done is we have just completed this business application studio. Now, we have created a dev space which is there. We named it as Fiori. Okay. Now, when you go with the business application studio, what it gives you? SAP Business Application Studio is essential for developing extension applications on a SAP BTP platform. Your business application is a prominent and a recommended tool for your developments. SAP BT BAS. Okay, one more thing is it, even though it is referred as BAS, it is not a standard acronym which has been provided by SAP. It has been abbreviated to BAS, but most of the time you can use it as a BAS only. Provides a common development environment that runs independently of the developer's technical system setup and is tailored for the business application development in SAP ecosystem onto the SAP BTP. If you are having any system, let's say a connection has been established to the SuccessFactors, Ariba, or any other system, the data can also be pulled out onto your business application studio. That also we can do, provided the prerequisites are in place. One more thing about your business application studio is the dev spaces which you have created, okay, are independent of each other. Okay, they are you can say as they are the private workspaces. Okay, they are independent of each other. You will not be able to see all the applications of one dev space into another dev space. Okay. So BAS can be accessed through an internet browser and offers a desktop-like development experience similar to a Visual Studio Code. If you have used Visual Studio Code earlier, you will be able to see that it is a application which will give you the look and feel like your Visual Code. Okay, this has been derived from a Visual Studio theme called as a VSFX registry. Okay, so that is also available. You can add the extension, even you can have your extensions created and added onto your business application studio. Okay, so provided they are registered as an extension to be available. SAP Business Application Studio offers all the necessary tools for the business application development, including a command line and the editor optimized for the use cases. A subscription and the appropriate authorizations are required for developers or the business users to access Business Application Studio in a sub account. Okay, now when I say it is onto a sub account, we have already seen that once it is subscribed, then only it will be available. An administrator can distribute role collection via the security capabilities of the BTP. Where we just a second. What we have over here is onto the security level. Okay, so what we have is administrator can distribute. If you're working as an administrator, or even if you have that role assigned to you to assign the capabilities, I've already demonstrated this with the help of a role collection, right? We had a user over here, and then we just added a role onto the role collection. So this is also possible onto the sub account level. Okay, now there are three predefined role for the Business Application Studio. Developer. If you are a developer and you are willing to work onto the Business Application Studio to develop any of the applications, let's say I have developed a space. Okay, here I have a space called as a Fiori dev space, right? The type that I have is for the Fiori. So a Fiori developer can develop the Fiori applications using this Business Applications Studio. One more thing about your Business Application Studio is what you can do is even you can bookmark this URL. Okay, you can bookmark this URL and directly launch the Business Application Studio instead of navigating from your instances and subscriptions as well. Okay, now if you want to switch back onto your list of the dev spaces, what you can do is you can just remove this ID. Okay, now where is this ID coming from? Let me switch back. Okay, so this is the ID. Okay, now if I want to move on to this dev space, I can move on to this dev space, but here this is right now into the stop stage, so it will not be active. But if you want to, you can do that. Even you can bookmark the number of dev spaces that you are using. Extension developer. Develop and deploy the BAS extensions. This is what I have referred to earlier. You can have your extensions added. Okay, now if you want to add your extensions, how do you do it? Launch your Fiori Business Application Studio. Here you have a component called as the extension. Okay, now if you're working onto the Fiori, right? So if I wanted to add some other Fiori related extensions which someone else has developed and I want to use it, I can install that. Okay, now once that installation process is complete, what I have to do is I have to relaunch it to bring the extensions in effect for my current working space. So extension addition is also possible. Or let's say I'm working on to the JSON, but the JSON beautifier is not present. So what I can do is I can add the JSON beautifier, or let's say, or what you have to do is you have to install this as an extension, and that will be available for the usage in your Business Application Studio. There are a lot of extensions that are present. The administrator, okay, let's say the administer BAS. Okay, now where will I be able to say, let's say I want to log into your dev space and I want to start it. So the possibility of administrating a BAS is also possible. Okay, so we have completed this part. In order to start the development with the Business Application Studio, a developer needs at least one dev space to work in, to create. Choose one dev space and then you can work onto it. Okay, now depending on to your requirement, what you can do is you can create a dev space. Okay, there are several dev space existing. Fiori we had seen, the full stack application we had, the native application also we had. Every dev space type comes with a set of predefined extensions that are required for the respective application scenario. If I am willing to develop a full stack CAPM application, I can do it using a full stack extension or your full stack dev space. If I want to just develop the Fiori application, the administrator can just give the rights of creating the same to that. You can select additional extensions to enhance your space. You can add the extensions. Now, what are these extensions referring to? These extensions are referring when you want to enhance your environment of your development. Okay, let me just duplicate this one. Okay, and when can I do so? If it is into the stop state. If you see this is into the active state for me. So I'll not be able to add the extension onto this point, but if it is onto a stop state, I can obviously add the extensions over here. Okay, these are the predefined extension for my existing space. These are the ones that I can add onto the go, but this will be added onto my Business Application Studio. Either if these are not sufficient, what I can do is I can add the extensions inside of this also. Okay, due to Visual Studio, SAP Business Application Studio also lets you integrate the code compatibility extension from the Open VSX registry. This is what I was referring to. You can register your extensions, you can create your own extensions and add those extensions onto your Business Application Studio. It is possible to create multi-dev spaces per user depending on to the chosen application. Okay, restricted up to 2 dev spaces, only one space running at a time. Okay, we have already seen this, that this is the one which is active and the other one which is available is inactive. Now, when you're going with your trial ones, you have a limitation. Even you have to see that which one is running at a time. Now, when you go with the standard one, that time you don't have the limitation depending on to the purchase that or the spaces quota purchases that you have made with the SAP. Okay, now let's explore the two. Now let's say I'm working on to the Fiori application. This is a Business Application Studio which I have launched. Now onto my left side, what I will have, I'll be having different palettes. Now what does this palettes refer to? When I go with the file, okay, this is the first one. I can create, okay, I can configure. If I want to edit, I can edit it also depending on to the selection. Now there is another palette. Let's open this. Okay, now this is a palette called as a Explorer palette. Now when you have this is a resemblance of your visual code. let's consider this as a folder structure. Now, whenever you have a open folder structure path, make sure that you don't go onto any path. If you want to open any of your applications, switch on to your projects path. Okay, then only open it. This is a kind of a hierarchy which has been set up onto the cloud. Now, when you go onto the projects, right now, I don't have any projects available for my projects folder. Okay. Now, what is this? This is a compatible tool or the extensions which are available onto the VS Code. You don't have to change this folder. You don't have to edit anything. This is a kind of a configuration file. Okay. Now, if I want to create a new one, okay, there are multiple options that I can have depending on to the extensions that I have opted for. Okay, I can go from the start from a template. Okay, what it will do, it will enable me with the wizard that is available. Okay, adaptation project, cap project, Fury application, and the basic multi-target application also I can do. The other way is, what I can do is I can clone this. Okay, right now I don't have any application for me, so what I can do is I can clone this repository. Okay, let me do that. Either you can, there are two ways always. Okay, either you use a wizard based navigation, or either you use a command line based interface. Now, how do I go? This is a wizard based. Okay, what I can do is, if I go from clone from repository, what I have to do is all I have to do is provide a credentials if it is a private repository. If it is a public repository, then there is no problem. Now, what I wanted to do is, you, if this is open for a long, you can use the escape button to switch. Okay, now I wanted to create a project. Okay, I can do it from the terminal also. I can open a new terminal. Okay, now right now my user, the user who is currently logged in, is available onto this path. Now, what is this? There are problems, output, debug console, the terminal. This terminal is for your checking whether the application is running smoothly or not. If there are some errors, you will be able to trace out the errors also onto this. Right now, what I wanted to do is, I wanted to make a directory. Let's say it is a demo. Okay, I can switch on to this demo also. Now, right now I am on to this demo. The make directory command will work over here because it is working onto your Linux. Okay, so some of the commands like your mkdir, or let's say cd, which is a change directory, will also work over here. Okay, right now I have just a folder which is created under this. Okay, now if I want to split, okay, if I want to split my terminal, I can use the split terminal also. Here I'll be able to see the terminals, two different terminals I am able to see. Now if I want to switch back onto this cd, let's say it as a projects. Okay, let's say cd dot dot. Okay, now here I am onto the projects path, but my another terminal which is available, it is available still onto the demo. So if I want to do something onto the project level, if I want to do something onto the demo level also, I can do that. Just give me a second. Sorry. Okay. So this is the one of the feature where you can have the simultaneously two terminals running for you. You can even search for the components that you want to do. Now what you have over here is a Git. Okay. Now what is a Git? We have the future sessions coming more in depth, but today for now I'll just say that Git is a kind of a version control management system where multiple developers, if they are working, they can pull, push, or do some kinds of operation to bring the code in place and work simultaneously. This is the run and the debug mode. If you are running your application and you want to find where the application is going wrong, or if there is some kind of a configuration that is missing, you can check it over here. The extension is also available, which we have already seen. Okay. What we have is a CI/CD. Okay. Into the next sessions, we'll be able to see this. The Git lenses, in order to identify if there is something or if there is any kind of a component when you have merged it with a Git is missing. Okay. The guide center, in case if you want to, if you are new to this tool and if you want to get yourself familiar with this, you can move on to this one also. Okay. Now for me, I am working on to the Fury, so this is by default available for me. Okay. The additional views, in case if you are seeing that we are not able to see all of them at a time, what you can do is you can move on to each of them. Okay. Now if you are working on some another tool and if you want to change the theme, or if you want to bring in more personalization to your tool, some people will be using some other tools, right? So what they can do is, if they have been using Studio Code earlier, they can make it look and feel wise. Also over here we have a
So I have one question. When I get into SAP Business Application Studio for the first time, it gives me like a 4 choices: start from template, clone from Git, import, and file and folder, right? So when I say start from template, so what kind of template I'll be having there?
It depends on to your extensions that you have initialized. If you
Correct.
see
On the earlier screen.
Yeah,
Okay, there
yeah,
are,
over
yeah.
here you have been choosing a Fury one, right? So I will get the
Yes.
wizard which is available for Fury only. Now if you say that I want to create something, let's say a native HANA development, I cannot get the calculation view template or the wizard for me over here, right?
Correct.
Because that is not the extension, or that was not my initial development environment.
Yes.
So you'll not be able to get it. But
So
if you're starting with
depending upon what all options we have chosen while creating that dev space, like in my case, the one that I'm trying out right now as a trial version, I have ticked a couple of them. I mean, apart from Fury, even the calculation view and even a Java tool. So accordingly, the templates will be available to me if I go with this option of start from template. And the clone from Git will be the whole repository from Git. So can we switch this? If I choose option of template and then I realize, oh, I should have chosen the Git. So can I switch that, or is it a new I have to create new dev space?
Okay, I'm sorry, who's this? Vishal, right?
Vishal, yeah.
Okay, Vishal. So let me clear you the difference of when I'm using a clip. When I'm using a Git and when I'm using a template. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I say it as a template, I am just availing myself with a skeleton which will help me for the further development.
Correct.
Okay. The other that you are opting for, let's say clone from Git. So what will happen is, let's say there is a team. Okay. Let's say there is a team which is there in place. Now this team had 4 developers in place, and out of this 4 developers, one of the developer is not working anymore onto that particular object. Now someone else has to fill in that place, right?
Yes.
Now that 4th person, or the new new person who has been bought into the system will not do the development from the scratch. All he
Of
has
course.
to start from the place where the person has left in, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
if that is the case, then I can clone the existing development
Ah.
using the clone from Git.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Even that's the case with
Got
the import and files and folders. Okay, this
Yeah.
three, what it is basically if someone has left or just stopped the development at some point, to get started from that point itself without taking the or without putting the effort onto
Reinventing
the
the whole wheel.
development.
Yeah, got it. I mean, reinventing the whole wheel. We can
Yeah.
start from that very point where someone left, and we can take it to the completion using the other three options, like cloning or
Yeah.
importing or even browsing from the file folder.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. But otherwise, we can go for a start from a template. And if that happens, there a change in the developer or someone left, we can use the other three, any of the other three.
Okay, let me do one thing. Let me use this one. Okay. Let's say I'm going with this. I'm using a template. Let me switch on to the Explorer. This was just an empty directory. Okay. Now I'm just going with the basic one.
Yeah.
Okay. If you are using or if you're having multiple projects, make sure to check your project folder path once. Your projects should be created inside this. Okay. Not onto any other level.
Correct.
Okay, if I just finish this, what it will give me, it will give me a project one. Now what is this project one giving me? This project one is giving me a predefined structure for the MVC architecture. Okay,
Yeah.
because I have used a basic template.
Correct.
Now I want to clone a repository. So what I will do is I will go with the clone from a repository. 1 minute. Use this one. Okay, I should be on to the projects path, even also to clone.
Okay.
Okay, now what I have is I have some other components which are available. Okay, but what it is also someone's else work that I wanted to get into my system. So what I have done is I have already bought some system, already available code, and this available code is available onto a public repository. That's why it didn't ask me whether I have to check myself or whether I wanted to authenticate myself onto the system. This project from a template is an empty skeleton. This doesn't have any kind of a development, but if you look at this, okay, it is already predefined system. Sorry, predefined code that is available for the usage. Is it clear, Vishal, now?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one doubt here. Like in that case, this example that you are showing is a part of a public repository or private repository in GitHub.
I think it's Naveen, right?
Yeah, Naveen.
Okay, Naveen. So right now, if it is a part of a public repository, because if it would have been a private repository, it would have asked me for the credentials. Okay.
Yes.
So
So check-in, checkout also needs to be that it should ask for the checkout also, right? Even though it is public repository, even though you are working on some other else code that you have imported from a public repository in GitHub, it should ask for a checkout, right? Before you are working on other people's code.
Okay. Why should it ask me for a checkout?
No, because if you are working on some other project and, for example, if you are working on any project that is hosted on a GitHub, and if you have multiple developers working on the same project, so there might be chances that of like overlapping of the code.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So Naveen, when I made a I have not checked out any project. I have made a copy. Okay. So I did a clone operation.
Got it. So it's a completely new project. No dependency.
For my current workspace, it is a kind of a new project.
Okay. Got it.
If I had a existing project with the same name, then it would have asked me whether I want to override an existing code. In case if the same name exists in my current working directory, but right now my directory is all empty, all I did is cloning. I did not checked out, I did not wanted to do any kind of a changes. All I wanted to bring in a copy of that existing code which is residing somewhere.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. One more thing. Okay, so we were working on to the personalization of our tool. Right now, this tool which we are seeing is onto your TIA environment. Now, if I want to change a theme, so what I can do is I can opt for a color theme also. I can go with the black theme also. Now, this could give me a look and feel of the Visual Studio. If someone is very familiar and they want to have the same kind of interface or maybe the same kind of a personalization, if they want to go, they can also do it from the settings part of it. Till here, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, so 1 minute. We were on to this. So, right, we had seen a terminal, a split of a terminal, and the code editor, a project explorer. If you have earlier worked on to the ABAP objects, let's say this is my SE80 repository where I would have lots of projects, but in order to edit it, I have to open it into another panel. Now this panel is called as a code editor. Let me say this. I want to do this, edit this view. So what I do is I double click that file and this will open into my editor. Okay, this is a XML editor right now for me because I'm on to this file. Now, if I want to make any kind of a changes onto my controller, I double click onto that particular file and it will be available for editing or making, enhancing this code onto this code editor level. So we have a project explorer, we had a code editor, we had seen a terminal also. Okay. Now the SAP Business Application Studio provides everything that a professional developer needs. It is a full development environment. It replaces SAP Web ID. Okay. Now when we were working onto the SAP Web ID, we had a limitation of having only one kind of an environment, that is a UI5 Fiori dev spaces available. Right now, what you see into your dev spaces, it's a multi-development environment, whether it's a full stack, whether it is a Fiori, or whether it is you want to have any kind of a extensions available, you can do that. Okay, let me delete this to show you multiple environments. Okay, so these are the development environments that are available. full stack cloud, HANA native, mobile application, basic. Along with this, we have the extensions to be added to make it more useful. SAP Business Application Studio has a lot of capabilities, including the Project Explorer, the Code Editor, the Terminal, Debugger, Code Management Integration. This Code Management Integration is basically referring to your Git that was in place, which we have already seen. Benefits of your Business Application Studio at a glance: provides a managed, pre-configured, hosted environment optimized for a Business Application Studio, can be centrally administered with the tools, repositories, system access, and the company policies. Integrated with the existing SAP solutions, the Fiori development, Fiori generators. Okay, we had templates that will enable this point. Provides easy access for a Visual Studio Code compatible extensions. We have seen this extensions also. Okay, the collaborations. Now, when I am referring to the collaborations, I am referring to where multiple.
Guys, are we going very fast, or please feel free to stop us, because we have been working in this space for a long time, right? We tend to feel that we already explained, okay, and it is covered. This is for everybody, okay? And please do not feel shy, okay, that we can explain one more time. That's fine.
Actually, what I feel, if I do a little bit practical, hands-on, then it is better to understand. Again, it's a total theory, and we understand the thing, but we do not know the impact of this.
Okay. If that is the case, Anurag, what I will do is I'll pause here for a minute. Till the time everyone has created a dev space of your own, I will pause over here. Will that work?
We can have a side by side also. Maybe we can show something and you can try it out, and probably we can move further.
I have just demonstrated a system navigation. Maybe what you can do is I'll take couple of minutes, and then you can make aligned with the existing one which we had right now.
Yeah, Vishal, you want to say something?
No, I'm ready with the same setup, PS setup on the same page.
Okay, guys, everybody's comfortable. Everybody has been logged into BTP BS. Please raise your hand or maybe unmute yourself and speak up. That is fine.
Actually, I think most of the people might have. Hello.
Yes, Naveen, we can hear you.
Yeah, I think most of the people might have BTP account, trial account, but since it has not been operational since many days or months, it can be inactive. So that is also in my case. When I have tried to log in into BTP trial account, it is showing inactive and all my dev space was removed. So we'll have to create again the same thing, and then maybe we can test.
See, if you have all the setup, if they just need to create the dev space, it will take maybe 2 to 3 minutes, right?
Correct.
It's okay. So in that case, maybe everybody please, try it out. We can wait for a minute and 2 to 3 minutes, and we can start with that. Okay, that is also fine. So eventually, target is to just to bring you with the BTP BS and with the CAPM part of it. Okay.
There is one suggestion from my side.
Yeah, Naveen, please. Oh, Anurag, yeah.
That you will share this PPT to us. We will do it by ourselves after this training, and we will recap tomorrow morning in the training.
Correct.
What do you do?
That is what after this training, okay, you will receive the day one and day two content, okay, BTP and BS, whatever we have showcased to you, you will get it from the you will get it, okay, yeah, and you will be able to try it out, okay. But currently, if you want to try it out and if you are facing some issues, okay, we can also help you right away. Okay.
So in that condition, what is the scenario? I will share my opinion do step by step, because I am totally new about that thing. From where you get the things and what otherwise I can go through your recordings again, do it manually, or we spend time over here. Both are the okay for me. If I spend here, other people are waiting. It's good for me. Because in that condition,
I agree, but it will depends on, if most of the people does not have the, not comfortable with the BS and having the same issues, right? They feel, we are in the repetitive sessions, or maybe, we are going too fast. It is okay to put a pause for a, 3 to 4 minutes or 5 minutes. You can try it out, and then probably we'll be able to proceed. That is also fine.
Chetan, Brajesh here. Chetan, actually, what we can do for today, how we are going, we can go as it is, and after that, this session, we can try out to create an account and create a sub account and configure BAS. If it is not happening from us actually, so tomorrow first half actually we can go and resolve the problem of the people who are having that problem to configure it actually, because it will be like 2-3 minutes or 5 minutes. It will be very difficult for us to configure because we are very new to this actually. So
okay, I completely agree with your, because see, if people are getting stuck somewhere, okay, we definitely, need to help them. But yeah, if you are comfortable with the speed what we are having, because we are also showing the system, we are not taking only slides, throughout, right? We are also showing inside the system what we have it, what is how we can get the Git repository, and what is the folder structure we have it. Okay, so we are actually showing inside the system with the taking, examples of the Git repository. We are trying to deploy it to the dev space what we have created it, and then we are just trying to showcase.
So Chintan, after this class, this like whatever we are you are explaining here, actually that recording or any kind of material will be available so that we can follow the steps and we can configure it actually. So.
Yeah, definitely. The recordings will be available, okay, to you, and even the whatever the modules 1 and topic 1, topic 2, right? BTP and BS slides what you are showing yesterday and today, it will be shared with you, Rajesh.
Yeah, thank
okay.
Yeah, Chintan, will we be getting any assignments like after like each day's session or something that we can practice and showcase to you?
Yeah, it's a good point, but right now we are just trying to start with the training, right? This is the second day we are having 20 days training. Okay, so we are just trying to understand what is the basic, what is the BTP, what is BS. Here in these particular examples, we cannot show share any kind of assignment, because if we show something, you'll not be able to make it out, because we are not taught or we are not reached up to that level where we can give assignments on the CAPM layers, how we can how will you create the CAPM services. So we'll definitely have the assignment as part of this training, but probably this premature, this too early to comment. Okay, maybe from next week onwards we'll have something for you.
Yeah, actually, in that condition, can you share some link as you shared earlier in today's, where we get the step-to-step tutorials from the SAP along with the assignments, not only the tutorial, because we are providing the tutorial along with the practical assignments.
Yeah,
there
so
are so
once
many
we
links.
reach up to that stage, right? Once we reach up to that stage, we will definitely share the assignments also with you, Anurag.
Yeah, it's great.
Right?
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, if we are not taught something, okay, let me give you the assignment right away. Build the CAPM service with the actions items, okay, and you can connect with the third-party system. A lot of people will understand, right? How can I will create the CAPM service? How will be I will make it to Fiori applications? The trainer has not reached up to that stage. They are giving us the assignments, so that is not the right expectation to set it up, Anurag.
Yeah, it's correct. It's correct. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Also,
Okay.
like one more thing I want to add, like in
Yeah,
case
Naveen.
you're giving some assignments, like which is requiring some prerequisite to be installed in our laptops, so you can tell us in advance a few days ago so that we can connect with our local help desk people and get it configured.
Sure, Naveen. I will keep that in mind.
So then one more thing, Chintan, like this badge that you're talking about is a maybe replica of a Visual Studio that we have used in .NET kind of a project. So can't we install Visual Studio in our local laptops and then we can connect it to the BTP and use leverages?
Naveen, you have Firepoint here, right? So BS is following similar kind of follow structures, and even we can do our Fiori coding, okay, or BTP coding instead of bars. We can also use the Visual Studio. Yes, that is possible.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we need to log in into a BTP account prior to start with that, right? In order to host it into the BTP.
Yeah, but here we are just trying to focus on BAS because BAS is part of the BTP portfolio. Visual Studio, even though it can connect with the BTP, but that is not a part of BTP portfolio. So we can share the links with you, but in this particular trainings we cannot share other ways also. See, if you want to connect with the HANA Studio, how can do the development inside the BTP? That is also possible, but we are going with the BTP product portfolio. What is the editor we have? We have the Business Application
Correct,
Studio.
correct.
So we are just trying to follow the one
Yeah.
editor here. Okay.
See,
But yes, you
the
are
only
right.
problem,
Yeah.
sorry for interrupting. The only problem is that nowadays SAP also is jumping to another alternate solutions every now and then. Earlier we had Web ID, sorry, HANA Studio, then now Web ID, then now BAS, and now again SAP will come up with something else tool. So how can we be sure that if we learn that, then it will be it will sustain for a upcoming few years.
No, I mean, there is no surety in the market, neither from any of the hyperscalers also. Okay.
Okay, so as of now, BAS is the only latest thing that is with SAP, right?
Yes, BAS is the latest thing right now what we have. Okay, and maybe in future BAS may be replaced. Okay, because when we discussed, okay, I'll take some time back. Okay, 2019. Okay, when I was in TechEd. Okay, I clearly asked them web ID is there. What was the need of the introduction of BAS? Okay, they would like to try it out. Okay, the new features will we are going to work with the BS, but the web ID development from the SAP side, SAP product team is still going to be continued. Okay, but nowadays
Correct.
SAP is, yeah, so every 1 or 2 years, okay, SAP is going to release a new editor in BTP. Okay, if BS is sustaining long, that is good, but if not, that is okay, because the new tools, if we know already web ID, it is easy to learn BS. If you know BS, okay, in the future editor would also be easy to learn also, because they cannot come up with something out of the blue and ask a developer, just be comfortable, be familiar, and start development of inside the new editor, and to develop something for the customer, Naveen.
Correct. Yeah, because
Okay.
as you said in the earlier discussion in this session that SAP has launched the SAP Leonardo, I think few years back,
Yes.
as a part of Black blockchain technology. So that also I think SAP scrapped that part now, and the
It's
one people who has
discontinued.
and the people who have invested in learning that part also might have been obsolete now.
That is true. Yeah, that particular specific technology has been gone. But believe me, if you learn couple of technologies, when you entitled to learn new things, right? You'll be comfortable with the new technology, and if something is getting outdated, you don't mind after certain time. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, but yeah, so there is no surety, be how long BS going to survive. But yeah, let's just try to see. Right now there is no alternative of BS, and they are trying to come up with a new editor for Signavio, okay, which is SAP build applications. Hopefully, both are different. Let's see how it goes as part
Yes,
of the
and
SAP product portfolio.
latest tech also they are saying like about low code, no code kind of a technology. Like based upon that, they are developing the custom model. So yeah,
Yes, yes. So low code, no code definitely applies to SAP build applications also, and SAP business process automation also. Okay, so we can just touch upon that topic slightly, but yeah, let's just try to focus, what the course content we have designed and agreed as well.
so thank you.
Yeah. Over to you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Mini.
Okay, so we continue where we left. Okay. So the collaboration part, BS is designed to facilitate collaboration among developers working onto the same project. This is where your Git comes in pictures. Okay, it offers features such as Git review, live editing, and chat integration to help team works more efficiently. Okay, so what we have is a Git lenses over here, so that will enable you with that feature. Okay, the integration. SAP Business Application provides.
Yeah, I mean, can you please go back just one
Yeah.
more point, okay? On that slide, earlier slide, please. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's say we are, we have one repository, okay, and in one project maybe 4 to 5 people are working, right? So in that case, each of the person has its own, development feature branch, okay, and all the 5 people can work simultaneously inside one project to create different applications, okay. So in one project, multiple people can be run. This is the idea of the collaboration of it. People can do the editing also, they can deploy the code, they can merge the code, and they can also get the live code which has been deployed to the main branch of it. Okay, so in above, okay, there are a few people are having the above background also, so that's the reason I'm just trying to touch upon this point. Okay, in above, if you're auditing one object, you cannot, other person cannot edit it, right? Here we can have a flexibility that one person is editing one project, second person is editing another part of the same project, okay, and the third person is also editing the another part of same project. By chance, if two people are editing the same objects, it is going to be shown as a conflict, and it will be side by side comparison will be there. We can check it out, what we need to select, what we need to reject, and we can merge the code and we can deploy it. That is also possible. Yeah, over to you.
So that was about the collaboration, the integration also. Okay, so it allows developers to leverage existing resources. We have seen this. Okay, customization. Okay, the customization was brought into picture because of the theming. If you want to make it compatible with the one which you had earlier, you're also unable to do this with the help of the theming, which is available onto the settings section of your Business Application Studio. Here we have the manage option. Business Application Studio offers a high degree of customization, enabling developers to tailor the environment for their specific needs and the preferences. It also supports a range of programming languages and frameworks, giving the developers the flexibility to use the tools and technology they are most comfortable with. Okay, the scalability. Business Application Studio is highly scalable, enabling developers to build applications that can handle large volumes of data and the traffic. It supports automatic scaling, load balancing based on to the demands. Okay, now if let's say I have a bigger application, so what is the maximum number of size that I have? I have a 4 GB of size that is available. So that is referring to the scalability option of your Business Application Studio. Okay, security. Business Application Studio is built with the security in mind, offers a range of the features and tools to help developers build secure applications. Okay, this can be achieved if you are trying to clone anyone's application, but you are not authorized. So what it will do, it will not allow you to copy that application. Basically, a cloning of that application is not allowed. Okay, even though you have been cloning this, there is one more restriction that you have while you're cloning is onto your Cloud Foundry section. Okay, now here you need to authenticate yourself. Here it says a login is required. Okay, this is referring whether you are the same person who is copying, cloning and developing. Okay, there are two types of security checkpoints. One is via the Git and one is where you have it at a Cloud Foundry spaces. Okay, these are the two security points. This includes built-in security control mechanism, integration, identity management, and supports for the encryption of the security. So this is with your two types. One is the Cloud Foundry and one is with your Gits. Okay. So we have already seen this, the connectivity proxy, the end user and the developers. If you want to have this Business Application Studio copying someone else tool, you can also do that, but this more of it will be covered when you go with the cloud connectors, when you are trying to access any external system. As of now, for us, the external system is just a Git repository that is available onto your GitHub. Okay, this GitHub is being connected once you have authenticated yourself. Okay. So the use case of a business application studio in SAP BTP, development of the custom application for business requirements. So we have a tailored development environment called as a Fiori Dev Spaces, integration of SAP and non-SAP systems and the services. This is available via the extensions. Okay. Creation of extension application SAP solutions such as SAP S4HANA, SuccessFactors and Ariba. Implementation of a digital transformation in initiatives using the modern technologies such as machine learning and the IoTs. Let's say if I want to include the Python also, we have the option of including Python over here. So whether you are allowed or whether you want to have it as an extension, you have a Jupyter for your IoT and the ML type of codings. So that also is available. So for now, we can conclude it as Business Application Studio is a powerful tool. It enables developers to work on to multiple programming languages, integrate and use the services. Okay.
Yeah. Guys, any questions so far?
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.